neighbor. Cause this is what we need in the world today. Remember, this begins from you and I. Believe peace, live peace, think peace. Remember that.
Kwetu Kibera iliota ndota ajabu kabisa, kulikuwa kalamu Rwanda Kigali na kukuimbe bikwa safi kabisa. Nikuwa nimelala kwetu Kibera iliota ndota ajabu kabisa, kulikuwa kalamu Rwanda Kigali na kukuimbe bikwa safi kabisa. Dudu imbe sitaha ilianguka ndani ya ile kuku. Dudu imbe sitaha ilianguka ndani ya ile kuku. Kila mtu aliyekula na umwa kichwa anasokota tumbo mgongo kuuma. Nimekuja nikwambia usikule kuku, saa kuku ni tamu lakini dudu
about your life, how you got where you are, and the way you're going to different countries and societies, just telling them, teaching them that you don't have to sit there and just, kujirumia, masi yourself, pity yourself, like saying, apana mimi, siku, I've never made it and all that. But now I'm thinking there's a young person who's watching you, Bukenya, and thinking, okay, fine, he's admiring you, you're 25 and you've achieved all this. But how did you get there? I want you to get to that point now. You said you went from Makerere, you started up your own organizations, but now getting to the level that where Bukenya is right now, being able to visit all these countries. Where did you start from? I want to know that too.
Yeah, okay, where I started from the house of Mrs. Rovin Narumasi, Bukenya. Now, my grandmother, who brought me up. And from there, when I grew up in a family, she gave me the best that any child could need. Yet, she didn't have too much. There's someone out there saying, oh, he grew up in a rich family. She's a woman who had one cow in the house, on the compound. And she had a small farm where she used to grow beans and then sell for my school fees. And then when I grew up, I used to join her into the same work. When I come back in nowadays, I do the farming with her. Then when I finish the farming with her, I could also go to friends' farms and do extra work so I earn some income for myself. That's where I began. And sometimes I used to go to some people's houses, those who grow maize. There is a way you beat maize to get off the corn off. Manually, we used to do that overnight. And then I also used to earn from that. I didn't stop at that. When I went on growing, when I learned music as a pianist, I used to look for schools who need pianists during the festivals. I play piano for them. I accompany their music, their singing, and then I earn some income. I didn't stop at that. I used to go to industry to do voluntary work. I do voluntary work. In the process, I learn new skills in the voluntary work I used to do. Some people learn skills and they sit at home because there's no job, no paying job. The voluntary system is not yet there, and the voluntary system is not in their blood. They don't think of volunteering. But for me, I'm a product of volunteering. So from then, I learned that I need to do voluntary work, whether it pays me or whether it benefits me or it benefits someone I know or I don't know, someone today or a century to come. I need to do what is good, because goodness is to give birth to goodness. And the good you do is a good for you. And it's like a perfume you spray on others only to enjoy the scent. So keeping that in mind, I always continue with my voluntary work. And in the voluntary work is where I met all these other opportunities. I worked in very many industries, in Stuari, Youth Association. I worked in a SOS Children Village in Uganda, which I've seen also in Kenya, right?
Yeah,
James?
it's
Yeah.
here.
I worked there as a volunteer, as a music teacher, from age 16 as a pianist, teaching them free of charge. But in this process, I used to develop the skill, which I used to use outside to teach others who used to pay. You see? Some people have skills and they sit at home, they look at their parents. Look at me, I have no job, I have no house, I have nowhere to live, I have no everything. Look at the parent. But the parent has given you education. For me, when this grandmother of mine took me to school, I learned the piano. I used to use the piano as volunteer work in the disadvantaged children, SOS Children Village. But then in the process, I gained the skills and the experience to use in other schools to earn income. I used to meet so many different people from different countries, and the ones who have been inviting me to their countries. When I used to go to church, I give my testimony of my life. People interested call me to their schools in the different countries. I go to give my testimony. You have a testimony out there. No matter where you came from, no matter the background, no matter whether you were dumped on dustbin just like I was dumped, you were bigger than the dustbin.
Amen.
And what is inside you is Jesus. And Jesus is above all things. Then you can do greater things in life. So for me, I can't say that it is because of my education. No, it is because of doing what I'm supposed to do at the right time. And it's because I believe in the now. To me, now doesn't mean now like anybody else. It means no other way but to get started. Whether you are 30 now, begin there at 30 years. Whether you're 50 now, begin at 50 years. Whether you're 5 years, begin at 5 years, 10, 15, 16, 20. Begin where you are now. The time is now. No other way but to get started.
It's true.
That's where I began.
Your favorite quote in this book?
In my book here, my favorite quote is what you see at the back. If we want a bright future, we should overcome the temptation of locking up ourselves in the past, which can never serve the current and future needs of humanity, unless we find out what good we can extract from our painful past. We will remain slaves to our history, because what happened to you doesn't matter. It is who you are today. What you have doesn't matter. It is who you are today, and who God, who is inside you, He is today. And He is a God of I am, God of the present, God of the best.
One more question before we end. I know this is a question that most of the viewers would want to ask you.
Yeah.
Do you know your mother now?
I can say, as I've said always, I have not yet known my mother. And I have no pain about it. But if she is to come out there and say, I am your mother, and it is true, I will accept her, embrace her. Because my prayer right now is that wherever she is, she may have peace, and peace of mind, peace of soul, and that she may have love, just like someone who took care of me. So I've not known my mother, I've not known my father, I've not known my relatives, but I have a father and a family. And I have you, my viewer, and you, Becky, as my sister. So I am happy.
Your last remarks?
Yeah, my last remarks today to the youth is that in Africa, I have a dream. And in this dream, it is a dream for a new Africa. And I'm dedicating this book to the youth in Africa to come up with new methods to develop this Africa. An Africa that will respect both genders, male and female. An Africa that will work for the development of their people. If you're a leader, you work for the development of the people. An Africa where youth will not work for their selfish ends or will not be used by the waves of the different politicians, but will work for love, peace, forgiveness, and reconciliation for the sake of sustainable development. An Africa where all the natural resources we have will be put to use, so we don't crawl and stay behind as the highly poverty-stricken continent, but as a developed continent.
Amen.
An Africa where all Africans will know Jesus Christ. And that is my dream.
Wow, that is Francis Bukenya for you. I just love his energy. I wish we had more time to listen to him. But I think getting it from the little that is spoken, I'm sure you're inspired. Start from where you are right now. Start now, like he said. Whether you're 30, whether you're 36, whether you're just 15 or 16 or 18, you can start from where you are right now. And your circumstances should not be